is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin this afternoon with breaking news. Fire crews are on the scene of an apartment fire this afternoon at 505 28th Avenue North in Fargo near the Northport Hornbachers. That's where we find Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie live with the latest. Courtney.
Thanks, Stacy. Now, I actually just got done talking with the fire chief as well as the person who rents the unit where the fire happened. I want to jump behind my camera quickly, though, because I want you guys to get a better look at some of the damage here. Now, it was just around 3 o'clock. The homeowner tells me that he came back from running errands and he saw a lot of people congregating at the bottom door of the apartment. He says he asked them what's going on and they were like, "Your apartment's on fire." He tells me that he ran up to the top floor and when he tried to open the door, all of the smoke came through and he met crews down at the bottom saying, "Get out, get out." Now, he wasn't hurt. No one was hurt during this fire. There was a neighbor who was also on the 3rd floor and he was not able to get out because of all of the smoke damage. That's why crews had to put the ladder up there and take him out. Now, everybody in this apartment has been displaced for now. It's unclear when they're going to be allowed back in. We still don't know the cause because fire crews haven't been able to get in there yet. They are still filtering out all of that smoke. We don't know how much it is spread to, what the cause is, what the damage is. The Red Cross is here, the Salvation Army is here, and they're going to be helping these people who are displaced. But like I said, the flames, they were able to knock them out within 10 minutes. So as soon as we get an update on this fire, we will let you know. Live in North Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
All right, Courtney, thanks so much. A Grand Forks woman is behind bars after police say she hit a man several times with a hammer. It happened around 3:30 yesterday afternoon in the 2300 block of 17th Street. Police found a 61-year-old man had been hit multiple times with that hammer. He was taken to Altru Hospital for injuries. Police arrested 49-year-old Alana Rose Ranasat on attempted murder and robbery charges. Here's a look at today's top 4 at 4. The driver of an SUV is at Sanford Hospital in Fargo being treated for injuries after a crash near Argusville a couple hours ago. An investigator says the woman was heading north on I-29 when she swerved and struck a semi-trailer, lost control, and rolled. Her vehicle wound up in the southbound lane. No word on the severity of her injuries. She was said to be conscious as she was transported to the hospital. The driver of that semi was not hurt. Students at NDSU marched to protest anti-racism this afternoon. The Stop Asian Hate rally comes as demonstrations pick up across the country in wake of the deadly spa shootings in Atlanta that left 6 Asian women dead. Authorities have not yet labeled that a hate crime. Student groups say they'll continue to fight for equality at NDSU by putting pressure on the administration. We'll have more on that protest tonight on Valley News Live at 6. A discarded cigarette caused Sickies in East Grand Forks to catch fire yesterday. The fire department says the cigarette was tossed from an apartment above the restaurant. The blaze caused more than $500,000 worth of damage. Rain, sleet, and below freezing temperatures led to accidents in the Northern Valley this morning. The North Dakota Highway Patrol posted these pictures, warning drivers to be careful. This crash happened on around 7:15 on I-29 north of Grand Forks. One person was taken to the hospital and one person was charged with care required after losing control, crossing the median, and hitting another vehicle. That wraps up today's top 4 at 4. Now here's a first look at our weather with meteorologist Nathan Hopper. Nathan?
Hey, Stacy, happy Friday. Clouds around, some showers around, and showers still ongoing. At this point, rain showers in our Minnesota neighborhoods. I've been looking at some surface observations. Haven't seen any reports yet, but I can't rule out some raindrops here in our near Clearwater County, heading toward Thief River Falls. We'll take a closer look in here and see some cities where we could be seeing that Erskine. South of Red Lake Falls toward Oakley could be seeing some of those rain showers at this hour, as well as our friends in Clearbrook and North Clearwater. So this is what we're seeing, but bigger picture shows as we look down towards South Dakota, more rainfall there near Watertown, crossing I-90, and I do expect this moisture to be making its way up toward us, and especially our Minnesota neighborhoods, where we could see some more of those showers continuing. But here's those temperatures. We're in the 30s in areas like Thief River Falls, Rosa. We have made it to 48 degrees in Fargo. We have seen that warmer air pushing its way in from South Dakota. But of course, Stacy, these showers could linger into our Saturday. So of course, I'll get folks that weekend forecast and look ahead to a nice Monday coming up in a couple minutes.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Nathan. Officials from the West Fargo Public School District are reporting an alarming increase in COVID numbers within the district. The district says this week they've had to quarantine 7 lunch pods of students and have closed 1 kindergarten classroom. The district also says that they're just 1 case away from having to close classrooms at 3 of their other buildings. The district says this new trend is concerning and seems to reflect a larger trend in Cass County as a whole. More on that tonight on Valley News Live at 6. Cass County saw 100 new cases of COVID today for the first time since December. All Minnesotans aged 16 and older will be eligible to get a COVID vaccine in just 4 days. Governor Tim Walz says that while everyone is eligible, vaccinating older, high-risk people will still be the priority. The governor encouraged Minnesotans to make sure they're signed up with the state vaccine connector. You can also use the vaccine locator map to find an appointment. You can find links to both of those sites right on valleynewslive.com. The general public in North Dakota will be eligible for the vaccine on Monday. A number of organizations are setting up for that phase 2 rollout, including Thrifty White Pharmacy, Essentia, and Sanford. CVS is also offering COVID vaccinations, as are public health departments in many counties. The Minnesota Department of Health's announcement regarding breakthrough infections of COVID-19 or people getting COVID after being fully vaccinated has Dr. Anthony Fauci concerned. He's warning that these infections should be taken seriously, and he says it's important to find out if the vaccinated people were infected with the original strain of COVID-19 or with one of the variants.
One of the important things that will be done and must be done is to sequence the genome of the virus. That's the breakthrough virus, because it would be very important to see if they broke through with the wild type virus, which would indicate a real diminution of immunity, or whether it broke through with one of the variants.
Dr. Fauci also said breakthrough infections are not surprising, explaining that they will happen with any vaccine when vaccinating a large population. More and more states are opening vaccine eligibility to younger adults, but health experts warn Americans should not let their guard down. They're also weighing in on President Biden's new vaccine pledge and a controversial theory about how the pandemic began. Skylar Henry reports from Washington.
By saying it's clear there is a case for optimism, but there is not a case for relaxation.
With states from coast to coast beginning to expand vaccine eligibility, public health officials are warning the coronavirus pandemic is far from over.
The 7-day average of deaths continues to hover at 1,000 deaths per day. I remain deeply concerned about this trajectory.
Beginning next week, adults of all ages in Texas and Oklahoma will be able to get a shot. California will soon open up its program to those as young as 16.
In just a few weeks, there'll be no rules, no limitations.
The speedier rollout comes as President Biden announced a new goal to administer 200 million doses by his 100th day in office.
We're also continuing to bring more federally run mass vaccination centers online in Boston, Massachusetts, Norfolk, Virginia, and Newark, New Jersey.
Some county health officials remain concerned about whether supply will be able to keep up with demand.
We have the capacity to vaccinate over 200,000 people a week in our county, and we're doing probably a third of that.
1 year into the fight, it's still unclear how the pandemic started, but former CDC Director Robert Redfield is pointing to China.
I still think the most likely etiology of this pathogen in Wuhan was from a laboratory, escaped.
He was giving an opinion as to a possibility. But again, there are other alternatives, others that most people hold by.
The World Health Organization is expected to release a full report soon about its findings. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
So far, more than 87 million Americans have received at least 1 dose of a COVID vaccine. To stay on top of the latest COVID vaccine-related information, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's right on the homepage of our website, or you can open your phone camera and point it at the QR code on your screen, then tap the link that pops up. A voting systems company is suing Fox News for defamation. Dominion Voting Systems alleges the cable news giant made false claims that Dominion rigged the 2020 election in an effort to boost its ratings. The defamation lawsuit is the first filed against a media outlet by the Denver-based company, at the center of false claims spread by then-President Donald Trump and his allies after Trump's election loss to Joe Biden. Fox News has not responded to the lawsuit. A sinkhole opened up and forced part of a West Fargo intersection to close. The east side of the intersection at 8th Street West and 10.5 Avenue West is closed. The city says repairs are expected to start on Monday and could last until Wednesday. 8th Street West will stay open to northbound and southbound traffic. People gathered today at Island Park in downtown Fargo to protest the new Enbridge pipeline being built in Minnesota. Line 3 would stretch 337 miles across the state. Protesters say they don't want it contaminating their land or the environment. The group marched to Wells Fargo, demanding they cut ties and stop funding the pipeline.
We are in a climate crisis. We do not need to be exporting tar sands oil, which is one of the most dirty and polluting types of fossil fuels available right now.
That pipeline has been drawing national attention.
I've never experienced a storm before in my life this bad.
Coming up, a look at communities in Alabama and Georgia as thousands are still without power after yesterday's deadly storms.
And the Bison are playing just down I-29. And here's how things look if you're heading down to Vermillion for game day. Temperatures there 11 a.m. We're going to be in the chilly upper 40s for those temperatures there at 11 o'clock. Then at game time, 1 p.m. around 50 degrees. But of course, I'll break down that full weekend forecast next.